Steam is full of great free games if you know where to look. Clearly you're just too lazy to find them, but that's what I'm here for, so here are the top 5 free puzzle games on Steam you don't know about. Part 2. Part 1 is linked in the description. Labrags is a first-person puzzle platformer game where you use past dead bodies of yourself to solve puzzles. The puzzles are designed as deadly physics-based puzzle platforming challenges. You have a gun that can suck up and shoot out corpses from your past lives, meaning dying is actually necessary to solving the puzzles. You gain access to several different types of corpses throughout the game. Your gun can shoot out ragdoll bodies, which make for good platforms, cube bodies, which are used to reach higher places early on and block bullets, trampoline bodies, which launch you into the air, and sphere bodies, which roll. The corpses can be held as well, which comes in handy when you need a moving shield to block bullets.
Yeah, boy.
I'm okay.
The game looks pretty bland, but has a stylized 1920s looking steampunk charm to it all, with a good amount of variety in the puzzles. The puzzle designs were well thought out to make use of both your puzzle solving and platforming skills. The later puzzles even have multiple approaches you can take, which I love in these open sandbox style puzzle games. If you're looking for a 45-minute long puzzle platformer with some great physics-based puzzles, then I recommend Labrags. Shepherd of Light is an environmental puzzle game where you control sheep that have different special abilities. You play as a shepherd and control a flock of sheep with commands of either telling them to follow you or stand on a specific spot.
Autobots, roll out!
There are different types of sheep you gain access to as you progress, and managing which sheep should go where and when is what the puzzles are all designed around. You start out just having access to the light sheep, which protects you and the other sheep from wolves. You have to have as many light sheep as there are wolves to safely cross their path. Next you get the lightning sheep, which activates certain bridges if there are 2 lightning sheep on either side of the gap. Then there's the fire sheep that works like a chain explosion when you link them together with a fire chain. Lastly, there's the shadow sheep, which can sneak past wolves without the use of light sheep at all. The sheep all work in tandem with one another, leading to some very satisfying solutions.
Count my sheep.
Oh yes, Daddy.
By the end of the game, you're juggling all the sheep at once, making for some excellent layered puzzle design. I was definitely left wanting more after the hour-long experience, but if you're looking for a game with some unique mechanics and amazing puzzle design, then I recommend Shepherd of Light. Clay Game is a weird claymation puzzle adventure game with a funny story. You have a wand that initially can make certain objects grow or shrink in size, allowing you to create paths for yourself to cross in the beginning platforming sections. Eventually, you arrive at your sister's tower, and she tells you she's currently being chased and will run to the top of the tower, prompting you to go and save her. The writing throughout the game is really funny because of its crude humor, and reminded me of something like Robot Chicken.
Oh shit, you are Tree Man! Are you here to kill me?
After the initial story is set up, you're introduced to a new wand that changes the color of objects to solve puzzles, which is actually used for the rest of the game. The puzzles are designed like slide puzzles, where the rooks are always stationary and the pawns can be moved. The wand can absorb colors from certain objects as well as change the color of rooks. Like colors are pushed away from one another and opposite colors are pulled together. The puzzles are surprisingly well designed for such a stupid looking game, which elevates it above just being a meme.
This is a game. Games are paid. A game?
They have excellent pacing and scale and difficulty perfectly as new elements are introduced, like moving platforms for example. If you're looking for a 1.5 hour long, well-designed, hilariously written puzzle game with a unique concept, then I recommend Clay Game. Frame of Mind is a logic-based puzzler where you have to think outside the box in order to solve the abstract puzzles and escape madness. It's a really minimalist game with just navy blue and white as the color palette. The game will even use this minimal color scheme in its puzzle design. The puzzles in this game are nothing like I've ever played before. The puzzles are designed to play with your perspective and make you question what the puzzle actually wants you to do. Oftentimes in games, you know what you're supposed to do and figuring out how to do it is the challenge, but in Frame of Mind it's the opposite. You don't know what you're supposed to do, so you have to observe your environment for clues as to how to progress. In this puzzle, for example, there's a wall of eyes that just seem like a strange part of the environment, but after experimenting you figure out that you can go through the wall of eyes if you don't look at them, which is what I mean by abstract think outside the box puzzles.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
If you're looking for a 45-minute long mind-bending puzzle game that tests your critical thinking and logic skills, then I recommend Frame of Mind. Trikaya is an atmospheric first-person puzzle platforming game where you explore a long-lost temple to piece together a mysterious artifact. Throughout the game, you'll gain access to different gemstones for your wand thingy that manipulate the environment in different ways. The first stone you get allows you to pull objects like levers and these elephant stones that work like slide puzzles. Next, you get a stone that lets you throw objects and move stone platforms. And lastly, you get a stone that lets you move those platforms back to where they were, light ropes on fire, and activate these totems, which turns this red mist into a solid platform. The puzzles are fairly easy compared to the other games on the list, but there was still enough variety in how each one was solved for it to be worthwhile. Especially since they get more layered as you find the new gemstones. I really liked the design of the temple because it feels like you're uncovering more secrets as you solve puzzles and aren't just placed in a generic puzzle room. The music helps fill this atmosphere as well with a fitting Egyptian soundtrack. If you're looking for a 45-minute long simple puzzle platformer with some cool abilities, then I recommend Trikaya. If this video gets at least 1 like, I'll show you the bonus games. Oh wait, I like my own videos, so here they are.
Where's the fucking money, shithead?
Flightless Classic is a tile-based puzzle adventure game where you navigate your way through a series of floating island puzzles. You have to reach the endpoint of each level to progress. Sometimes there will be these collectible prisms that you have to get along the way in order to open the gate to the next stage. There's 3 different environment types in the game. The grass environment is standard with no unique elements.
You suck!
The desert environment is the same but adds in spikes that you have to time your movements with, and the ice environment adds in slippery tiles that you slide across as well as breakable one-time use ice blocks. It's a simple concept, but the puzzles have enough elements to fill the 20-minute long game, so if you're looking for a grid-based puzzler, then I recommend Flightless Classic. La Rana is a puzzle adventure game where you explore the lost rain temple of Rana as a spirit frog who's the temple's last remaining caretaker. You go from room to room and have to shoot water from your mouth to solve the puzzles while looking for all the blue spirit frogs in each level, which are required to unlock the door to the next area. The puzzles are really straightforward and consist mostly of easy slide puzzles and moving platforms by shooting water. You'll have to refill your water at these fountains so you don't run out though.
Yummy.
The temple design and style of the game is beautifully vibrant, so it was a joy to explore the temple for all of the frogs. If you're looking for a 20-minute long cute easy puzzle game with a gorgeous world, then I recommend La Rana. Those were the top 5 free puzzle games on Steam you didn't know about, part 2. I'll have my playlist of free Steam games you don't know about linked in the description, as well as part 1 to this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with this ongoing series.